in Yerevan, Armenia. I'm not too sure if I pronounced that correctly or not, but it's the capital of Armenia. The weather's not too bad, a little bit cloudy, but it's quite warm. I'm exhausted because the flight here, it was just a bit of a pain to get to, because I had to fly to Vilnius, had to wait quite a long time in Vilnius to get my flight to here, which didn't arrive until 4 o'clock in the morning. So I managed to get a few hours sleep. Haven't eaten since I left the UK, so I'm very hungry as well. But it's about 10 AM now, and I've got a tour guide meeting me at my hotel, which I need to get there quickly so I can start my tour. I'll just eat and sleep when I can. So behind me now is Ghani Temple. I'm in a place called Ghani. So this temple was built in the 1st century, but there was a big earthquake during the 1600s and it was demolished. But then it was rebuilt again in the 20th century during the 60s and 70s. And that's how it is today. They've tried to make it look as true to the original structure as it was. It's actually really busy today because there's all these school children here. Although schools are finished and it's like the holidays, apparently on weekends school teachers take the school kids out to see things, go on tours and things like that. They don't do that in the UK, so it's a lot busier than I planned. The weather's not great, it's been a bit of rain, but it's quite a beautiful place around here. I'm now at the Symphony of Stones, which reminds me a little bit of Iceland. So as you can see, like, the rocks have got unique shapes to them due to volcanic activity, also due to earthquakes. I don't know if water levels may have had some kind of impact on this as well at one time. But it's just as busy here as it was at the temple. I think I picked the worst possible day to explore outside of Yerevan. I'm now at Gerhard Monastery, just as busy here. And Gerhard translates to spear, and apparently before you actually go in, you pick up a stone and you have to throw it onto here, and if it lands on there and doesn't fall off, your dream will come true. So, okay, let's try. No luck. Gonna try one more time, see if it will land. Oh, that was awful. Right, 3rd time lucky, then that's it. Hey, fantastic. So the monastery has actually suffered some damage over the years. At one point it was invaded by Arabs. More recently it's been damaged by an earthquake. I'm guessing that's why it's like this at the moment, because I've seen photos of it and it looks fine. So maybe there has been an earthquake recently that's destroyed it. I don't know. It's called the Monastery of the Spear because it's to do with the spear that impaled Jesus Christ when he was crucified. I don't know too much about that, to be honest with you. I probably should have paid more attention at school. But also, it was originally called the Monastery of the Cave, I think because there were lots of different caves. But in more recent times, it's called the Monastery of the Spear. So I'm inside the monastery. I've had to switch to my phone so I get better light, because I wouldn't get this light on my GoPro. There's a spring running through here, which is holy water. People travel from all over the country, they come here and take the water home with them, the holy water. People wash themselves in it. I don't know if it's safe to drink as well. So I'm going to go up to it in a moment and wash my face in the holy water. Wow, it was so dark there, it got really crowded as well, but I drank some, it tasted okay, put some on my face. Who knows what it might do to me. Hopefully good things. So it's very dark in here, so it's actually quite loud now as well. It's very dark in here, so it's hard to film on my GoPro, which is why I'm having to do it on my phone. But as it's so loud, a moment ago this place was empty. It was beautiful because it was empty. Now, loads of people just coming in. This is a shame, because I was trying to get some nice photos and I was going to do some nice video, but now there's just loads of tourists. So maybe I did not pick the best day to be exploring some of these places that I have today. Matana Garden, which is a bit like a museum or library which houses various different manuscripts and books from the history of Armenia. Unfortunately, it's closed today. Whether or not I would have gone in or not, I'm not too sure. But even the outside is quite impressive. Seeing the various statues on the outside. I'm now in Republic Square, which used to be called Lenin Square until the fall of the Soviet Union. There used to be a statue of Lenin over there, but obviously it was pulled down after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Behind me is the History Museum, and apparently there's fountain shows here. So at 9 o'clock there's like a light fountain show with music. But it's really beautiful here. I think the buildings and the water and everything just make it look really nice, especially as the sun has now come out. I mean, it's been quite cloudy today and rainy, but finally the sun is out. So I'm now in Charles Aberval Square, if I pronounce that correctly. And there's a beautiful fountain here, which looks to me like it's all the different star signs, or the different zodiac signs. You've got like Aries, for example, Taurus, Gemini. Yeah, so it's all different star signs. It looks like there's a cinema here, and there's also this pretty awesome sculpture of a spider. So I went to a couple of pubs last night. Tried the Irish pub. Wasn't that great really, but the Beatles pub that I went to was awesome. You'd think they would just play Beatles music in there, but there's all different types of rock music. I got chatting to a few locals, learnt a bit more about the city, about the country, and yeah, it was just a really good night. I'm now at the church, the Holy Mother of Catholic, I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's meant to be beautiful inside, so I'm going to have a quick look inside. As I often say, as I'm not religious, I'm not usually one for churches or cathedrals, but often I'll go into some and they're absolutely beautiful, outside and inside. But quite often I don't bother going inside because I think, well, it's just a church. I thought this place was going to be beautiful and amazing, so I thought, yeah, I'll go inside, have a look. It's just a church to me. Maybe I'm missing something completely, I don't know. But it was a bit underwhelming. I thought it was meant to be an amazing, beautiful interior, but to me it just looked like a normal church. I'm now approaching the cascade. So this is a beautiful viewpoint of the city when you get to the top. I swung by here yesterday, but as it was raining and cloudy, there was not such a good view. But I'm hoping today, when I get to the top, I'll get a beautiful view of the city and a few other things. What's also interesting around here is that there are loads of different sculptures, statues and the like. However, some of these statues look very, very familiar, including this one, which I'm not sure if this has actually been taken from Vancouver, because that's where I've seen lots of these statues all together, like the Laughing Men or the Smiling Men. And they're in Vancouver, in Canada. So over here there's this love sculpture, which I've seen this before somewhere. I can't think where. I've definitely seen that before. Maybe in a few places I've seen that before. But yeah, it's just very strange to think that coming somewhere like Yerevan, which I've never considered to be such a popular city to visit for tourists, and to see lots of different sculptures from places that I've been to previously around the world is just quite strange and actually quite nice to have a reminder of my past travels. So as you walk up the cascade, there are various other sculptures around. So these ones here I recognise as well, and I saw those when I was in Andorra, and there were 7 of them scattered around, which represented the 7 different regions of Andorra. So again, it'll be interesting to find out if these have been taken from Andorra and are now here, or if the same sculptor designed them just for here in Armenia. I'm almost at the top of the cascade, and there's meant to be a beautiful view of Mount Ararat, which I think is in this direction. But I guess it's still not clear enough today to be able to see it. So Mount Ararat is actually in Turkey, and it's said to be the place where Noah's Ark landed, where it found dry land. And it's meant to be there to this day. So I don't know if there's actually some kind of wooden remains of some kind of ark. I don't believe in those stories, but some of it I think is probably based on truth. So there could be remains of some kind of ark or some wood left there. And behind me now is Mother Armenia. So Mother Armenia is a statue representing Armenia. It reminds me a lot of the defender of the motherland in Kiev, in a similar place, because this is Victory Park, and you see that there are, I don't know if you can see, but in the distance there's like planes, jeeps, various different military vehicles, and it's all about celebrating victories in previous wars. Originally there was a big statue of Stalin up there, but after the fall of the Soviet Union they demolished it and instead put the quite beautiful statue of Mother Armenia, which is actually modelled on a 17-year-old girl, although she doesn't look like a 17-year-old girl to me. I'm now at the Blue Mosque. I'm not always sure if I'm allowed on the grounds when it comes to a mosque, if I'm allowed inside. It looks like it's all roped off anyway, so I can't go inside. But I haven't been shouted at yet, so I think it's okay to walk around the grounds here. And there is the Blue Mosque. So that's it from Yerevan, Armenia. I've had a good time. I'm walking through some sort of mist. A lot of the restaurants have this mist coming out, which is actually quite refreshing because it's such a hot day today. I think it's about +30. I've seen a lot. Really beautiful city, not what I expected. I expected it to be a poorer country or a poorer city. That's not the case at all. Feels very European. Feels quite modern. It's difficult because I'm not sure if I'm in Asia or Europe. I've been chatting to different people. I met some amazing people last night in the Beatles pub. Some people think this is Europe. Some people think it's Asia. Look it on a map. I'd say I was in Asia. But then it has more of a European feel to it, and people feel more European here. But yeah, it's been really, really good, and not what I expected at all. So I'm gonna head on to my next stop.